Hello internet! And today I got an early access showcase for you guys on Lighter. First name's like a tool. Disclaimer though, everything is here are from the creator experience server, so things are subject to change. Now the first thing I'll show y'all will be the text. I will tell you, this guy is probably like one of the longest texts I've ever seen. Just look at that. How many scrolls is that, man? I'll explain everything later because there's just way too long for me to break everything down. So just take a look at everything and take a picture if you need to. But I will say though, he is certainly a pretty simple character to use. Now I'll try and like generally summarize what you're looking at. You gain impact if you consume morale. And morale is basically like a birdie's barding below the icon. This one's unique to only Lighter. And TLDR, if you use this entire kit, you'll be able to land debuffs on the enemy, buffing your whole team with fire and ice damage out of everything. And he himself will get a bunch of impact. As for his equipment, it gets you a pretty unique thing, which of course you got a normal impact, and it gets you ice damage and fire damage crit damage increase. And yep, this is applied in the form of debuff. So yeah, he's basically a debuffer slash buffer for your team that can also stun as well, which does explain my stat right here. We got a bunch of impact. So take a look at each of the equipment. We got full shock star disco because we want that impact. You want 270 total after taking into account every buff you have in order to get yourself 75% ice and fire damage increase. So that's pretty much very straightforward. You want really high impact. You want to use this kit to debuff the enemy and buff your allies too. And allow me to show you the team. There are two teams that Lighter is designed to be decent at in this version. We have the Caesar Lighter Soldier 11 team. This is pure fire, and Soldier 11 is the fire element, which Lighter does buff. Now the only other team would only just be this light code Ellen team with Lighter in the middle, because he only does help ice or fire damage. Now before we even like talk about whether they should pull for it, let's just see how he performs, shall we? We are against level 70 enemies, and allow me to showcase to you how he fights. A quick look at Lighter. He has this unique bar that Bernice has. This is basically his morale bar. It will increase as time passes or if your ally spends their energy, right? And you see this mark right here. Upon reaching it, he'll be able to do a unique combo. I'm gonna show you it right as we go in. You're gonna go in right here and you're gonna do 5 basic attacks. Basically just spam it, and you're gonna hold it at the 4th hit, and he'll do this multiple punch hit. Now what I'm going to show you is take notice of the bar. It does increase slowly even if you do nothing, right? Now that you're over this mark right here, you can do the punch combo again, and notice this. So 4th hit comes in, well, I gotta evade, and here we go. Bang, I'm holding it. It does a multi-punch hit constantly. By doing so, you've done a couple of things. Firstly, for every hit you do, you gain a stack of relation that gets you ice and fire damage boost. Secondly, you've also landed debuff on the enemy, which gets you more crit damage on fire and ice damage. When you do that multi-jab hit, you are in the morale burst state, basically, and it'll deplete the bar. And if you land any jabs or punches during this state, the target's ice res and fire res are reduced by 15%, lasting for 30 seconds. Right now, this enemy has like 2 debuffs. One gets you more crit damage, one gets you more ice or fire damage, and your entire team has 20 stacks of inspire buff right here, which gets you fire and ice damage again. And that's it. That's his whole deal. Pretty darn simple. So you know what, enough yapping. Let's just go ahead and go for the actual showcase. I don't feel I'll be like editing the video too much. It's 5 a.m. I am cooked. But here we go. You will start with Caesar, just planning the buffs, and you want to spend energy on all of your allies, right? So I'm gonna try and do that with Caesar. Come on now, attack me, little homie. He just refuses to, but there we go. Wait. Oh, there we go. And now you know this with Lighter. I have over 80 morale. I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to him and instantly hold basic. This is all you need. Bang, and now the enemy's almost broken already. However, though, it is not entirely broken, right? You can just, you know, do this and then have it be broken. And after that, just chain attack it away. He is a stunner after all. And now the enemy, unfortunately, I can't check the effects on the enemy, but right now, your Soldier 11 has fire damage increased 20 stacks of 3.75% for each stack, which goes to a total of 75. That means it's maxed out, right? And that is how you're going to maximize your damage. Your fire damage has been increased by a bunch. Just wreak havoc from there. And now that you're out of juice, you're gonna wait for the enemy to attack you. I'm gonna go to Caesar again, use my energy as much as I can, go back to Lighter, hold basic. That's all you really ever have to do. Use your skill to finish it off. Yeah, there you go. That's all you gotta do with him. It's exceedingly simple. And yeah, I'll just like finish the fight off without yapping about everything too much. I'll describe everything that's happening though. Here comes Lighter. We're gonna just hold basic as he comes in. Not sure where the freaking audio went, but now that I landed that, I have all the debuffs on him. I have all the buffs on myself. And I just gotta go over to Soldier 11 in the end. And here comes the bamboo. Here comes Soldier 11. I'm gonna use my ult now. with maximum fire damage increase and fire crit damage increase. I'm doing 100k per tick easily. Use my Goshron skill to get rid of my energy so that Lighter can get more morale, right? That is how you want to cycle through your rotations. And we're making quick work of this guy for sure. Go back to Caesar now. I want you to attack me if possible. Come on now. You know you want to touch me. You know you want to. There we go. Spend some. And I'm gonna wait for you to attack me once more for the parry with Lighter. Just hold basic. I'm not even touching anything else. I'm holding the basic. And just like that, boom, I'm broken though. He is an impact stunner after all. And you do just break them and stun them so quickly, right? And now to end it, we should have the final hit by Soldier 11. Use my final E. And that should be more than enough for me to murder them. We're doing like 30k to 100k per tick sometimes after you have everything set up with Soldier 11, which honestly, for a Soldier 11 is insane. And that is the best Soldier 11 team in this version. If you go in and get yourself Lighter, you can try this team out. Now, allow me to break down the problem of this. You see, Lighter's entire skill pretty much surrounds around this core mechanic of just helping ice damage and fire damage. That means it helps fire damage in Soldier 11, which simply isn't that strong anyway. It also does help ice damage, and the only other ice DPS that we have would be Ellen Joe. Now, if Lighter can just be like a better Ellen Joe ally, that'd be great. Taking a look at this team right here, which is going to be the second team I'm going to showcase that should be really good with Lighter. We got Ellen with Lighter, right? Now, you can definitely use Sokaku instead of Light Cone here, but having Light Cone would actually make it so it's a double stunner team that actually stuns the enemy so quickly that your damage is pretty good anyway. Let's just showcase to you how this team will play out. You already know what he does, so I'm not going to yap too much. Let's just go in and go with Light Cone. We got stun in general, dude. Everything we do is gonna absolutely break you. Now, let's go in and charge our E up. So boom, kick once, kick twice, go with you now. I'm gonna use my E into a charge. Basic. I have max morale, so let's go ahead and do the one punch back, consecutive normal punches, back to Light Cone, and instantly we're breaking you, right? And now we'll end with Ellen. Now we have all the freaking debuffs and buffs on myself. I'm going to use my E again. End it with a basics freaking chain. And now we are murdering them for sure. No problem. And yeah, that is pretty much the whole gameplay. Nothing too crazy, right? And just like that, we got him. No problem at all. And now we're at the final boss right here. I'm going to go and get back to the Light Cone. I'm going to hold my charge attack for a little bit. Just try and get the stun in, right? So after a parry right here, we should be able to hold basic. We've got our Lighter again to just punch you away. If you're not broken yet, use my E to finish you off. Back to Von Light Cone. And that is pretty much the whole team. And yeah, the damage output of himself though, of Lighter himself, is really not negligible. It's actually decent. But then again, though, you're not really like gonna out DPS the main DPS, right, with Lighter. In any case, let's just finish this guy off. We should have this guy easy peasy for sure. We got Ellen after all. She is gosh darn busted. And yeah, one more DPS window. We should have this easily. We got Light Cone again. We're gonna break this elite, no problem. It's gonna happen pretty quickly, considering we have two stunners, right? Let me hold my E right here and start your gosh darn breaking. You are frozen now. Let me go back to Lighter. Hold my basic right away as he comes in with max morale. I can't pronounce that word somehow. Morale. It's morale, dude. Alright, now Lighter goes in with some damage right here, and we're gonna finish it off with Ellen. It's pretty straightforward. Nothing too crazy. It is just a normal stun team, right? Which is why it is not that crazy. Like, compared to what we have when there's new mechanics or whatnot, this certainly isn't as flashy, but hey. It is just the basic of the games though. You're stunning the enemy, you're doing damage that way. You're also maximizing your ice damage, crit damage buff, and ice damage buff in on its own. Nothing much to complain about, right? That run took 2 minutes and 13 seconds total, which compared to like the strongest Disorder team, it's actually not as good for sure, right? Which is why we're able to have a general conclusion on Lighter. Now, I'm gonna be real, recently we have so many broken characters now that, hey, Lighter does not seem like he's gonna just take over the entire meta like, say, a Jane Doe would. Is he really weak though? For sure, it's not the case. He is decently strong. He can stun the enemy very well. The amount of buffs that he gives you is actually pretty high as well. 20% impact for himself, ice rest reduction, as well as freaking ice and fire damage increase by a lot. Like 75% is no joke. If you get his own equipment as well, you get freaking crit damage for ice or fire damage. That's a lot of buffs, you know. However, the problem comes with the fact that Lighter does not buff anything outside of ice or fire damage, and that is an issue in on its own. Right now, we only have Ellen. We only have Soldier 11 up the 2 elements that Lighter does buff, which is why the simple conclusion to Lighter is decent right now, but potentially really strong in the future if really strong ice or fire agents get released. So in the end, should you prefer Lighter? Not a character that you have to have right now, but is a character that could be really strong in the future, depending on who gets released. That's all I can really say about Lighter. Certainly decent enough right now though, but it's not as versatile as a lot of, like, say, Caesar, right? Or just buff everybody. But yeah, that will be all for today. I wish you the best of luck really going for Lighter. Hope you guys enjoy. Take care.